Hi there. This is me talking to you from the pit of hell. Okay, not really, but it's been one hell of a week. Um, we've been dealing with the creek fire. Yeah. Now, I will say we were very fortunate. The fire is now moving in the opposite direction, and things are starting to look pretty good. They're looking pretty good. Most of the evacuation orders and warnings were lifted yesterday and today, so a lot of people got to go home, and that's always a good thing. Unfortunately, the smoke has caused the air outside to become hazardous. Yeah, the ppms are so high, it is highly um, recommended that you don't breathe the air. So that's not really fun right now, but it's something to deal with. I'll tell you what, when the COVID thing first started and we all had to shelter in place, I felt really fortunate because I have a lot of room to roam here. So even though we couldn't go to businesses and things like that, I didn't run out of anything to do. And I knew the people in the cities, they weren't so lucky. Now I understand what they were going through because we can't go anywhere here. We can, I mean, certain businesses are open, not many, and it's not due to COVID, it's because they don't want their employees coming in because the smoke is so bad. But you can't be outside. And for people like myself that hate being indoors and are only indoors unless they have to be or they're asleep, man, I'll tell you what, it actually fucks with your mood a little bit. It's hard to stay positive when you can't go do the things that you like to do. So, I want to talk a little bit more about smoke. I'm not going to get super conspiratorial here or anything like that, even though that's where my mind usually goes in situations like this. But and then I'll show you guys some pictures. Um, let's talk about wildfire smoke. Wildfire smoke does not smell like a campfire. No, it doesn't smell like a campfire because campfires smell good. Wildfire smoke smells sour, and that's because it's burning dead wood. And when I say dead wood, I don't mean fucking seasoned oak that you have a cord of that's sitting in your shed. I mean dead wood that's been sitting on the ground, rotting. It has a very sour smell to it, and that's why most people don't burn that shit in their fireplaces. Yeah. This fire does not smell like that. No, it smells very synthetic, is the only word that I can use to describe it. Now, they haven't come out with why the creek fire started. They say lightning. That one's being thrown around. I don't fucking believe that one for a minute because there were no clouds. The sky was perfectly clear. Now, I'm not saying stranger things have happened, but I'm not going to buy the lightning thing. They're also trying to blame it on PG&E. Go figure. Yeah, it's PG&E's fault. And now campfire may be a possibility. Here's the thing I think a lot of people don't understand about people that come up to the mountains from the cities. Unfortunately, a lot of the big gas stations in the big cities sell bundles of wood year round. Year round. Even if there are fire restrictions in place. And I'm not saying that everyone that comes to the mountains is an idiot, but common sense isn't very common anymore, isn't that the saying? And they don't use their better judgment, and they stop and they pick up these bundles of wood, and then they come up here and they camp and they set that wood on fire, and then of course they're not watching it, and it spreads, and here we go. Now we have huge fires like this. I don't really think that's what happened either, but again, I'm not going to get conspiratorial here, so we'll just skip that. So anyway, let's go ahead and just look over a few pictures. Now, I didn't take most of these pictures because as soon as this fire hit, right after I recorded that video, shit kind of hit the fan. The fire blew over 30,000 acres in less than 2 hours. It was raining ash like crazy. It's still raining ash here right now. It hasn't stopped. That's one of the reasons why we can't go outside, but the amount of ash it was raining was insane. And then they started the evacuations. So if you were on a warning like we were, you had to get all your livestock and all your big animals down into the big city. And then the people that were closer to the fire, they actually had helicopters flying over telling them they had to leave, which was really freaky and confusing for a minute because the helicopter was flying over the ridge by my house, and I didn't know whether or not they were evacuating us or not, but they didn't. We didn't have to leave our home. All right, let's look at some pictures. So this here is the lake that's a few miles from my house, and this is what it looked like right before these people got evacuated. So just a short time after I uploaded that video that I did when it was getting kind of orange and dark. This is taken from downtown. Oh, if you guys see that right now, we're actually getting an evacuation order lift that's going to come up on my phone. Hold on, now I'm all screwed up. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. I suck at this stuff. Okay, anyways. This here is the gas station in my town and one of the couple of stoplights that we have. That smoke was bad. It was really, really bad. This is the next day, same lake, when the sky wasn't as orange, but you can still see the cloud of smoke rising up in the air. I think it's called a pyrocumulus cloud or something like that. And I actually watched a really interesting video from the mountain range. You have to climb over this big mountain to go down into the town where I live. And one of the main cameras up there that PG&E has actually showed the pyrocumulus cloud when it collapsed. So I think you can find it on Twitter. I'll try to see if I can figure out a way to upload it here to YouTube. Obviously, with the little, issue I just had. I'm not very good at this screen capturing nonsense. But anyway, yeah, it was a huge cloud. I mean, people were able to capture pictures of it from airplanes. Okay, this I wasn't there for, obviously. But this is Mammoth Pool. My favorite fishing hole feeds into this. So I don't go to Mammoth Pool ever. There's no reason for me to because it's too crowded. But I like to fish in the creeks above. And this burnt up pretty bad. Unfortunately, a lot of people got stuck here. And when the fire hit, they just got trapped. They were telling them, because I was listening to the police scanner at the time, they were telling them that the people were just going to have to go stand in the water and hope for the best. Luckily, they were able to get in there and get them out, but absolutely terrifying, man. Sometimes it really puts shit into perspective just how fortunate you are. This is ash on my truck, and this is only after a short period of time. This was a few days later, so you can see the ash is really, really small, like just little small particles of ash, but it's there and it is thick. This is driving back home from the city, because we had to go to the city last week. And yeah, it's like fog. But unlike fog, you feel like you want to die when you have to breathe it. It's absolutely gross. That mountain range I was telling you guys about that you have to drive over and come down to get into my town, that's the lookout point. So there's a lookout point there. People pull over, they take pictures. That's what it looks like on a normal day. A little bit of a cloudy day, but a normal day. I'm not shitting you. Same place. This one's cropped so you couldn't see the rocks from the lookout point, but yeah. Just to give you an idea of how fucking bad it is here and how bad it's been all week. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Now here's more ash. If you drive and then you come back to town, you won't have any ash on your vehicle. By the time I had unloaded my groceries and came out, it already looked like this. So I just kind of, obviously they look thicker around the edges because I kind of blew it, just to give you an idea. The reason why I want to show you this picture, and I'm going to do another talk on this over time, is this is what was standing between the fire and my house. Okay? Those are dead trees. They want to blame climate change all they want. Okay? Yeah, the climate's changing. I get that. Man-made climate change, I don't believe in it one bit. Nothing's going to change my mind. This is because of forest management. The reason why, and a lot of people don't know about this, the reason why so many of the trees are dead here is because we had a fucking bark beetle epidemic. Okay? And they're saying, oh, well, it was caused by the drought. We were in a drought, okay? I'm not going to lie. But we've had quite a few droughts, and the trees never had this problem happen to them. I don't know if it's because of the aluminum or the other shit that they spray in the air. I think that has something to do with it. But the trees being this close together, these beetles, which aren't big beetles, they can just jump from tree to tree to tree. And because the trees aren't getting the proper water and aren't getting the proper, air because they're spraying us like bugs, they die. And this is what happens. So, yeah. It's not as bad It's really not that bad, you guys. I'm just kind of bitching about it because I'm so fucking sick of being stuck in the house. That's one of the reasons why I haven't been recording stuff because I've been in a kind of a shitty mood. But yeah. So I just figured I'd kind of update you on what's going on. So for now, we're safe. Things are good. I do want to touch on the synthetic smell one more time while I'm thinking about it. I know some people will say, "Oh, well, it smells synthetic right now because there's structures that are being burned," but I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't think that's the case. Um, because there haven't been very many structures burned in this fire. Not only that, um, I've been through quite a few fires. In fact, there was one right up the road a couple of years ago that burned 32 structures very quickly, and it still did not smell as synthetic as this smells. This is a smell that I cannot quite explain. So, I don't know what it is. I'll quit being conspiratorial. I hope you guys are doing good. Since I have nothing to do, I'm going to start putting out content pretty often over the next few days. So, anyhow, you guys take care.